interesting admission on the First We Feast show today. The 65-year-old actor said that he thinks it's sweet when fans call him Daddy. That's right, Daddy. He then added that sometimes fans say Zaddy.
Okay, the fact that he's a dad has nothing to do with being called Daddy or Zaddy. I call my husband Zaddy. Where is Zaddy at?
I had to Google it. How embarrassing. I did not know the difference between Zaddy and Daddy.
Can your Daddy Zaddy status change?
Depending on who you're compared to.
I think you could upgrade from a daddy to a zaddy.
Indeed. Daddy, okay, from the gay culture a little bit here, Daddy is going to more of a man who is very attractive, who's a little bit older, okay? Whereas Zaddy, okay, did you hear that? Zaddy, all right? Zaddy is going to be a man who's a little bit older, maybe he's just older than you, who's attractive with style, fashion. He know he can get you, okay? That's going to be the difference there.
Hello, 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 hello. This is Uncle Tickles, and you are listening to New Dad, part 1 of our ultimate guide to being a zaddy. This series has been highly anticipated from different members of the fandom, and I am, for one, excited to roll it out. You may be asking yourself, what is a zaddy, Uncle Tickles? I don't know. Well, if you're having to ask what a zaddy is, the chances are you are not a zaddy. And this episode will be a good start for becoming one. So a zaddy is a sexy, intelligent, confident man. He smells good. He looks good. He is good, people. And that's what this episode is going to be about, helping our male listeners. And there's some advice here in this episode for the female listeners as well. How to feel sexy and look sexy. That's what this series is going to be about. As I think I have teased, part 2 will include having a stylist go through my wardrobe. This part will focus on hair care, and we are excited to have Sam Stahl on the program to talk to us about that. I won't make you wait any longer. We'll have Prop Cause take us away, and when we come back, we'll have Sam join us here in the studio. So Prop Cause, take us away. Welcome back. This is New Dad. Uncle Tickles here with good friend and stylist to the stars, and by stars I mean Uncle Tickles himself, Sam Stahl. Sam Stahl, say hi to Uncle Tickles' little children.
Hello,
and
Uncle Tickles' little children.
And tell the little children a little bit about yourself, Sam.
All right, so my name's Sam. I work in Logan Square at a salon called Heretics, but I also work on the artistic team for a company called Schwarzkopf Professional.
The War by the Shore, Schwarzkopf.
Yes.
It was named after General Schwarzkopf, right?
No.
No. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it means blackhead. No. But however you want to interpret it, I'm in.
Fair enough. So I have Sam on the show today because, as I said in the intro, we're doing the ultimate guide to being a zaddy. And part of being a zaddy is just looking and feeling sexy. And I think a lot of times for myself, I don't necessarily feel that way because I'm not confident in how I style my hair. And up until really finding you, I've been not very confident going to get a haircut and explaining to me even what I want. So I know there's a lot of guys who don't, relate to that. They're totally fine. They know exactly what they want going into it, but I have not been the same way. So finding you a little bit has been a godsend. And I knew about you for years. You cut my wife Lita's hair, but I was reluctant to cross that boundary. It seemed like a very intimate thing. You do talk quite a bit, and it's almost like going to the same, I feel like, therapist as your significant other. And so for a long time, I just bounced around from barber to stylist. For a while, I was at Twisted Scissors and had a number of different people there who were okay, but because I never stayed with the same person, and a lot of times it was just they moved around a lot of turnover.
Yeah.
I would fall into the same trap where I didn't know how to explain what I wanted, and then I would get a haircut that I didn't necessarily like.
Yeah, I think like the pattern in most things that you said is inconsistency. You know,
Right.
the reason you're connected with me now is I was already connected to your wife. So
Yeah. And her
you
hair was always on
immediately
fleek.
jumped in, right? Like I knew everything about you already.
Right, yeah.
Which can be good and bad. I think a lot of dudes feel, actually, I think a lot of people feel that way about sharing a hairstylist, but I don't know. I'm pretty cool. Like
No.
if something goes down, I'm not going to really project it later, but I think the biggest thing is consistency. Like you don't want to share every time what you want to do with your hair. So if you can have somebody who like you talk to it about it like 3 times,
Right.
and then we just do it.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to switch it up.
Yeah, switch it up, y'all.
can switch it
you
up.
got to let them know. You got to talk to your stylist. And that was part of my problem, because part of the, I'll get into some of my anxieties and why, I've had such a hard time with haircuts, I guess. It starts off, I came from a family of meager, we didn't have a lot. And so who I was actually sent to was like my family friends. And normally these were like, oxyed out, like beauty school dropouts. So I ended up with like a lot of misshapen, like basically mullets, like a lot of like very traumatizing haircuts. So that caused me to like put off getting haircuts. Then when I finally got out on my own, I didn't have a lot of money, right? So like the haircuts I was getting were cheap, going places like I'm trying to hair cuttery or something like that, sports clips. And then finally when you make a little bit of money, you can invest in it. It's just finding that right person. So
yeah, it's true. And I think sometimes if you don't have the money, even thinking about investing in a $30 haircut that's going to grow out for like 8 to 12 weeks for you, as opposed to a shitty haircut with really straight lines and like they don't care much, that's going to grow out really bad in like 4 weeks. There's different grow out. There's different types of haircuts that will grow out differently.
Well, are all $30 haircuts equal?
No, that's on you though. Yeah, do your research. There are things like, especially now I know that some people aren't as into Instagram, but I'm even like hashtagging a men's haircut can lead you in the direction of finding someone who's going to be right for you. Because
I would have never thought
honestly,
that.
what's the difference between $15 and 4 weeks it looks like shit, or $30 and you're 10 weeks in and we've done, like for me, I like concave layering and texture, so things they fall,
Totally. Well, and I think,
different.
and I don't think many people's hang up would be the extra $15. I think it would be how to, there's a million places to get your haircut, right? There's probably, we're here in Chicago. How many places could I find probably in like a 2-mile radius that would give me a $30 haircut, right?
I mean, honestly, 70.
So it's
like it feels like that. Yeah, it's crazy.
Right, and for girls, I think it's probably different. You're talking to your girlfriends. When one of your girlfriends gets a great stylist, it's probably actually like news, right? It's like, oh my god, I found this chick who I fucking love, or I found this dude who I fucking love.
Yeah, but on the latter, a shitty haircut doesn't mess with those women as much as it does
a dude.
You dudes.
Yeah, no, I agree, because we have less to work with. So
you can
like
grow that out. And
it's kind of like if you have 10 people and you get rid of 7 of them, it's a lot more significant than if you have 1,000 people and you get rid of 700.
Yeah.
So so that's why I've struggled with it. So those, and then again, so that's led to me feeling awkward when I do get haircuts. I don't want to ask questions when I'm in there. I'm typically trying to get the experience over as fast as possible.
Sucks.
So if I get a haircut, great. I'll try to go back there and get that same person if they're still there. And if not, you're kind of back to square one again. But like outside of not asking questions or not finding that consistent person, what are a lot of the, I guess, mistakes you see, dads and moms making, when it comes to style choices and also when they're coming to you to get their haircut?
So I think a common mistake, back to consistency, is like not booking and just having that like extra 7 weeks where you should have come in and your stylist was booked. Making sure that you're seeing the same person, just booking the appointment, making sure that's going to happen is like the easiest way to do
thing,
it.
right?
But that's just something that also doesn't fit into everybody's life. So when you're going in, I think it's important to just be as clear as you can. Like being clear with people is very kind. It's the nicest thing you can do. You don't have to be aggressive, but you could say someone's used clippers before. I don't like them. Like you have very thin hair. We don't use the clippers a lot because you can make it see-through.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that people need to hear. Now, here's the thing. If you say that and someone looks confused, you should fucking leave.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
Because they don't care about their job enough to care about the education and long term of it. So there's
Just leave.
someone else will walk in
Yeah.
and then will get their hair cut and then they will leave their job.
Yeah.
And then they will not continue to think about their job.
So
So I'm just saying,
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
people.
yeah.
It's the same in every industry. There's people that will build your house, and then there's people that will build your
Yeah.
house.
Yeah, churn
like
and
they
burn.
will build it.
yeah, oh yeah.
That's me. I'm gonna build your house.
Oh yeah, I know, and I certainly I will attest to that. You've helped me build my house.
But emotionally, I've cut your hair, which is different than anyone else that's cut your hair.
100%,
You don't even have
yeah.
hard hair. I'm not doing shit to your
Yeah.
hair.
Well-
we just talk about stupid stuff, and I like you.
Well, and that's the thing, and then that's
That's
kind of
it.
why you're here too, because as much as I've enjoyed my haircuts with you, mostly because we're able to talk about not anything hair related, normally Bravo related.
Don't do it because we'll get into it.
No, we'll get into it, and I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to turn this into a Bravo podcast.
We can talk about their
yeah,
hair.
yeah. Well, watch what you.
Old Kate to new Kate.
We're not gonna do. Kate.
She's not
yeah.
a mom.
Oh, she is not a mom. And I don't know if we could debate whether she's a good person. I don't know. Yeah. Let alone a mom. So one thing we haven't really talked about are, I've never been open with you about my struggles styling my hair. I've never talked to you, again, you ask me how I do it and you kind of do something and I'm like, yeah, whatever you're kind of going with, I'm like, yeah. That's what I kind of do. So part of why you're here is I want to get a little more confidence about that. And you've explained being, so we've kind of covered. One is consistency, right? Like find someone that you like and that's good, and book that person, stick with that person, and continue to work with them, and you'll probably continue to have good haircuts.
Yeah, like that you feel good in differently than just your hair.
Right.
Like it's 20% haircut, 80% everything else, and then the rest of it just scattered little things. Like it's a lot of emotion, and the way that you leave.
Yeah.
I mean, it's perception. You're never gonna like your hair. It's you. Tell me you don't like yourself. Like you just don't.
This is probably true.
Nobody does, and so that's half the battle. Is just.
No, and I mean, you hit on something that is fascinating to me, which is perception versus reality. And I actually want, my original idea when I graduated college was to do an entire documentary on that concept, and I had this idea of how to do it, but never quite how to do it good enough. Yeah, no, and I really want to do it I want to work it into an episode of this podcast somehow too. But so here we are, and we're gonna get to the nitty gritty. I'm gonna walk out of this episode feeling more confident and emotionally just lifted about my hair, because you're gonna empower me, and you have to be a lifted zaddy.
You gotta be a lifted zaddy.
The lifted part is a necessity to being a zaddy, right?
I think that's true.
Yeah, you can't be weighted down.
No,
there are no weighted down zaddies.
Weighted zaddies.
There
Tired.
Maybe wait, and you're not a Vanderpump person, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's fine. It was I just watched Pride.
Okay. So we have a studio audience today, actually. Who's Lala?
No.
Who's Lala's?
Randall.
Randall. Oh.
He was on the episode.
Yeah. Randall is a weighted zaddy.
Randall.
He's a weighted down zaddy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but a man who has
He's got a
thinning
PJ.
hair, who's confident and is banging la.
Yeah.
So obviously your hair is not the problem.
Yeah.
I'm just saying perception is probably more of the conversation than here. I mean,
Fried chicken.
Double fried chicken.
Fried chicken.
Yeah. While Jax is kicking people out of a wedding.
Yeah. Well.
Jax, you're a piece of shit.
We can talk.
Stupid hair. I'm just
stupid
gonna keep.
hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid hair. Okay. Yes. Let's get there.
I'm still bringing the hair.
Yeah,
Sandoval's
Sandoval
hair is fine, but
beautiful.
other Tom needs to stop it. What's happening? He's like, pew, 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 pew.
Jesus, I'm sorry. I keep
Okay,
moving
sorry,
the table.
everyone.
No, that's me.
Lifted zaddies.
Okay, so since we're going there, let's just do the whole Vanderpump cast hair.
Trouble.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm sorry.
okay,
Okay.
no, I'm in.
Okay. So Jax.
Jax and Sandoval are fine. I mean, there's a lot of blow drying. I want to be honest with every man out there. To get that pompadour and to get your hair straight and lifted like that.
I love where this is going, because
you are really putting in a blow dryer work. You're not getting that look without working. Those dudes would probably wake up 6 hours before they had to
get that,
just to masturbate themselves to have that type of
so
hair.
so then Schwartz is number one.
Now, I feel like Schwartz leans into his natural texture more, which is like Like Schwartz's hair makes sense when he's wearing a dress. Like
Oh,
when he's running around in
yes,
the
a
like
battered
dress
wife.
PJ.
He's a battered wife.
Yeah, he is. He's buying like hot Cheetos to make up with Kate. Like
so
that's
beautiful.
when his hair makes sense.
I'm gonna put this out there because I read this and I did a big deep dive on this, and
God.
I'm just gonna because I think that I feel confident enough to say this on my podcast. Yeah, and Lita, this is hot poop. I meant to tell you this, but it was one of those. This is the benefit of having a newborn baby because you're up late, right? And sometimes you don't want to have the TV on, so it's off, and you're just doing like a Reddit subreddit deep dive. And I did a subreddit on Vanderpump. So there is a code word for cocaine in Vanderpump, but it's not pasta. It's tequila. And if you go to season 2, episode 11, and I did this while
Tequila Katie.
no, Sheena. Sorry, no, I'm sorry. Kristen asked Stassi for a bump of tequila.
She says bump of tequila.
In the episode, season 2, episode 11.
Ian has no idea what we're talking about. That's my husband. I'm sorry, everyone. He's here.
Yeah, so we have a studio audience of Lita, Solo, and Ian. But yeah, season 2, episode 11. Can I have a bump of tequila? And then I went and in the Reddit deep dive, they give a lot more instances that you can just go to. And it's pretty much, to me, now confirmed that, and it gives a whole new meaning. Wow. Tequila Katie is cocaine Katie.
Yeah, definitely. It makes sense.
It makes way more sense, especially when you consider how unhinged she is in those moments. Yeah. And that's cocaine. That's not booze.
And they're like rage texting.
Yeah, that's cocaine. So anyway,
Katie's, her hair's been the same.
Yeah, so we're dropping some fucking VPR fucking fire here on New Dad. Ken. Oh,
Ken, killing it.
Ken, oh, yeah.
What's wrong with Ken?
Nothing.
I
Absolutely
mean,
fucking nothing.
dog.
Absolutely nothing. And his dog's got dope hair.
I was going to say most of this episode, like, lean in, you know? Like,
there's also a less credible theory for Vanderpump that dog's been dead for a really long time.
They're just carrying it around?
That they've got like 30 jiggies.
That makes sense. She's doing a whole thing.
Yeah, it's so weird. Everyone in her family's dying. Yeah.
That's true. They did.
It just seems suspicious.
True.
I don't know, like her brother, her mom.
But Lala's hair looked really good when she went to her house.
Okay, Lala. So the guys.
I would sleep with Lala.
So the guys, it's Schwartz, and then it's Schwartz. Sorry, I'm back to the guys. Schwartz, Schwartz, and then Jackson Sandoval are in like a tier right below them, and then for the girls, it's Lala.
Oh wait, I really like Bo.
Oh, Bo. Okay.
He's my very favorite.
Okay.
But yeah, then Stassi.
Okay.
I like Dana now.
Yeah. Okay. So you're a Dana girl.
I don't really.
I don't. The girls, I'm like lukewarm on a lot of them.
I feel like I'm lukewarm on everyone, but as a unit,
except for
I'm
James
invested.
Kennedy.
What the fuck? Stupid. I'm not even. The next one's gonna be so bad.
It's
with his stupid girlfriend. Oh my god. I can't talk bad about women, but she's dumb.
Yeah. Okay. So I think.
And her hair looks great though.
Yeah. There we go. So we're bringing it back to the subject.
Raquel's hair looked good. I mean, they kicked out Dana to get her hair done, so that has to do with what we're talking about.
That does. Yeah. I did. And that was a power move by Sheena. Speaking
Sheena. Stop it. Get off the bar.
Oh.
Get off the bar. I leaned in for that. I said, get off the bar.
No.
Sheena?
Yeah, no, we should be leaning in.
Are you she's obviously listening.
She's clear. She's a listener of, not of my podcast, but of a friend,
Is she?
a podcast that's a friend of the podcast, Pot Moms.
I feel like if Sheena knows that we're talking about lifted zaddies, she's definitely
She's probably listening. She's like, oh, goddamn. She's like, oh, I'm actually she's looking for the weighted down zaddies.
She wants a weighted zaddy.
Yeah, Lala's like, they're a lot lower maintenance than the lifted zaddies. You want to get yourself a double fried chicken zaddy. Yeah, okay. So Randall, okay, so we've, but this is what happens when I get my hair cut. And then all of a sudden I walk out. And my hair, so that conversation would happen. That would be a typical conversation, getting my hair cut.
Yeah.
And then it would be done by the end of it, and then I'm like, awesome, it looks great. I'm going to walk out of here. And while it's kind of like the Jesus, give a man a fish, you fed him for a day, but, teach him how to fish, and you fed him for his life. So I'm being fed a fish, right? And I've been happy with that. I've been totally happy. But now, just because I wear hats all the time, really. And I don't know if you know that. Yeah. The people who know me really well probably know that I'm always in a hat. A lot of people are actually surprised when I'm not bald when I take off my hat. They think and I've had people actually say that. They're like, "Oh, you actually." I go to the same coffee shop in my building's office, and one day I showed up. I was like, we had a client, and I did my hair, and the guy was like, there was three different people that were like, oh, we just assumed you were bald, dude. Like, because you always wear like, super self-conscious. I'm like, no, they're like, you should like not wear a hat more often.
So funny, like, well, how does that? So their perception was that you being bald was more negative than the hair that you have, but to you, to wear a hat is more negative to the perception of your hair. So really, we're only going to talk about perception.
Yeah, perception versus
or like, what do we body dysmorphia disorder?
And that's probably something I'm, but I think you hit the nail on the head when you, but no, you hit the nail on the head when you're like, it's your hair, you're gonna hate it, right? Yeah, you're gonna hate it. Other people are probably gonna think it looks fine, or my hair probably never strikes someone other than when I'm like walking out of the house and I haven't done it at all and I look crazy, like going into my son's daycare, or if it looks just randomly really nice, whether it's because I walked out of one of your appointments or I just hit some magical happy in between.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna.
Somebody just said something and it looks like that normally, but you just didn't notice because that day you got a compliment.
Sure. Yeah.
Probably looks better more days than you think.
You're probably right. So,
everyone.
So
you look okay.
So I'm gonna show. Yeah.
You're ugly, everyone.
No, stop being mean to yourself. Look at the grass is always greener, but everyone who has green grass also gets up like an hour before work and does something to their fucking grass.
Yeah.
You don't just have green grass. You gotta put some shit on it. You know.
You do. You gotta water it.
Yeah. Maybe put those holes in it.
Oh, like that look like the goose boot?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know a lot about lawns. I know a lot about hair.
No, we like kill.
We're not good lawn people, so maybe you guys just leave your hair alone.
Well, which is wild because we have we're good with pets. I feel like, and we have 2 children that we've been able to keep alive so far.
Yeah, but we're watering ourselves. We're watering our children, our dogs. We can't water our
a fucking plant,
That's
lawn,
true.
Even a yard plant, nothing.
You
we're
only
really
have
bad.
a couple months to take care of your. First of all, I'm just saying.
Yeah, we're really bad. We're really
shampoo
bad.
your hair.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
No,
not a lot actually. Shampoo less.
Okay.
Soap is the man. Don't believe in that.
Really? Okay. Well, I was gonna say when you said because having a new baby, one of the things is like I'm getting up and I'm showering more so as a wake up tool.
Yeah.
And because of that, I'm washing my hair every day.
Yeah, try to maybe just use conditioner or nothing.
Okay.
Because what happens is the oil that your head produces is actually great for your hair. So if you have fine hair, it can make it the right amount of heavy, so it's not so bouncy. And if you have thick hair, it can give it the right amount of weight, so you can kind of move it around. So soap is just big box business, You don't need to buy into that shit.
Oh yeah. Okay. So we're gonna do this. I've got some products here, and actually,
I haven't cut it in a while.
No, she hasn't.
You just had a baby.
I think you're both coming in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we both. So probably not the best timing. I probably should have just scheduled.
Best timing.
Okay, I was gonna say I probably could have just scheduled you to do the cut.
Well, it's like the peak insecurity.
Does it get up closer?
I might have to when I'm doing this. So I brought a couple items here, some of which I actually use regularly, some of which I've been sold and never really used because I don't feel comfortable using, and I think I have an idea. I'm going to ask Sam if I know how to use them right.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
I'm into that.
So this is the first. This is like the most basic and the one I use the most. This is a piece of product. Again, it's supposed to help my thinner, generic, white person hair look a little thicker.
Yeah, this is good.
Yeah,
Kevin
good.
Murphy's great.
Okay, so that's what I use. I'm gonna take off my.
Oh, it smells nice.
Yeah, and I will show you the amount that I would typically put on my hand, and you're gonna tell me if it's appropriate.
Okay, I feel like this could be a good. Yeah, let's do it. This is a common misconception here.
So I'm gonna say about that much.
Great. So the amount there, it's
And I'll show I'll get closer to the camera,
it's
but
probably a little bit too much.
A little bit too much.
But yeah, a little bit too much.
So we'll
See that gloopy part on the end? We probably don't need that.
Gotcha. Okay. So we'll.
But if you did that much, you could just rub it all over your hands and wipe off. So right now, after you get rid of that, get rid of it.
Just not in here.
No, put it in. Yeah.
Okay.
But right now, the biggest thing that most people do is just get ready to put it on, but put it all over your hands like lotion.
Okay.
Even on the back.
Okay. Even on the backs of the hands.
Yeah, because you want to heat it up. That's good.
Okay.
Then your hair in the very back is the most dense. So come up and bring it all up the back and then do the front. And then you won't have this big like sticky mess in the front of your hair.
Okay, so
it's
I've
deposited,
always
right, which is wrong.
okay. So that's
Which funny, I'm sure your hairstylists have told you before, and I'm not even trying to joke with Tommy. Like I've told him before, but we're talking about a bunch of shit. Like I'm not listening to you. You're not really listening to me.
Right.
We think we're both funny. We're talking. So like you're just chatting, so you're not hearing. But this is like a lifesaver. Just put all over, because then the amount that you need by the time you get to the front is the tiniest amount, which is actually what you need. But you'll never actually just use that little bit. So put it everywhere. Look, all right, it looks good.
all right. So
I
then,
don't know if you think this looks good, but I like it.
okay, so I'm gonna jump up here and I'm gonna use the camera as a mirror. I'm gonna show you
fix
how.
it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you how I normally style it, and then we'll go from there.
Are your fingers still a little sticky?
A little bit.
Okay.
I like dusty.
Dusty. That's the fun part about words.
So what I'm kind of doing here is I don't like what I don't want is I don't want the like metrosexual like faux hawk.
Right.
Faux hawk, right? That's what I don't want.
Right.
But what I do kind of like is a little bit of the I have this like fat doughy face, right?
Perception.
So like the giving a little bit of
You want to oval out.
a little bit of tech or the height up here makes my face deceive people as being longer and less doughy. So less pizza shape. We had a great pizza today. So but then I'm also this like white generic person. I am going to have like I don't want it to be a straight sweep across, but I want a little bit of that there. So people are like, oh, he's unassuming. I want to accept him into my life. Maybe he's religious, maybe not. I don't know.
Nobody knows what you're talking about.
No, they don't. They don't know my life. Everything's backwards on this camera.
It is hard. Yeah.
This is really a lot more difficult.
You're backwards. It is hard.
So this is kind of what I would end up going with something like this.
I like it.
Okay.
How do you feel about it?
I mean, I don't know. I've always felt that, I guess because of my insecure. I don't know if this is if people can relate to this in another like realm of their life, but you're not very versed at something. You don't feel very confident in that realm. So even if you were to do a good job, you wouldn't even have the knowledge of knowing. So I've always felt like this is not a very good. I don't know. Not that it wasn't a very good job, but that it could just be done better, or that be no. This is
And it's all the way back to like I think the way that you all feel about your consultation. Like stop being so hard on yourself. I should be able to read the room as a good hairstylist and get those few words from you and give you a good haircut. So I think in the whole sense, like when I don't drink coffee. When I go to a coffee shop, I don't know what to order. I feel like a piece of shit.
Totally. We were talking about Indian food earlier,
Same
right?
thing.
Yeah, okay.
It's like you probably love it and it wouldn't taste like anything that you thought it did, but you don't even know where to start. So, but with your hair, you're already doing exactly what you want. Like, just come in and own it. Like, I want it shorter on the sides. Somebody once told me that I shouldn't use clippers. If you've got information that hit you in the right spot, take it and share it because we aren't offended by that.
So would this be helpful? And I've always wondered this because it's something I've always kind of contemplated asking someone who done it. I feel, I've used the term generic a couple times, so I've wondered like, if I could do what I'm doing with looking a little more edgy, but also not looking too like
the thing about that, man, is
top.
like let's have radical candor.
Right? Yeah. Totally. Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay, let's start with the mom. I did want to bring this up because I got moms come in. They're like, I don't want to look like a mom. Here's the thing. Like, you're at Target and you got your 2 kids with you. It doesn't matter if your hair is blue. You look like a mom. I can't make you not look like one. It's not a bob.
You got the right accessories.
Yeah,
Sorry.
But back to Lita knows how to look great.
Yeah.
And nobody, and stop working on it. So it's not just my effort to a man or a woman. I can do anything to you and you leave and translate it immediately into an unzaddy.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I
No.
can't zaddy you unless you're willing to zaddy yourself.
Well, I think that comes down to it, right? It's confidence.
It's just like
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah,
like,
no.
It's
Well,
funny, but it's fucking true, man.
Well,
You got to
no,
be willing to zaddy with me.
Yeah, no, you got to have the confidence, right?
Yeah, and you got to
what-
be willing to get up and do even what you just did.
Yeah.
To some other dude on the street, they'd be like, "Damn, I want my hair to look messy, but be weirdly straight on the side."
Okay.
And that guy's got nice eyes.
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah. And,
You don't know that they said that?
No, probably not. I'm
And
thinking.
they did?
Yeah, they're probably like, oh, his nose is so weird.
No, they're not. And not about hair, but you should share with people when you like something that they have going on so that we can
No, I agree. I'm
build that shit up.
New Dad is in
Because
full
I'll
support.
be a zaddy. I
Yeah.
don't have a kid or a penis, but I'll
No,
zaddy.
you're a fur zaddy. Yeah.
Thank
yeah.
you.
You got
I don't know what that means, but
you got your dog.
oh,
Yeah.
I do love him. I
Yeah,
forgot.
I'm talking. We're talking we're talking about
Well,
pubic hair again.
I thought about the
We're,
teddy-
we're
I
going
thought
back
about
to
the
the
bear.
we're going back to the cord in the toilet.
I thought about the
Oh,
bear costume.
oh, bear costume. Yeah, that too.
I was like, I don't know.
No, you're the fucking one that's gonna buy a bear costume,
fur
you
zaddy.
loser. Okay, so we've learned a couple things here today, right? I think
Be confident.
be confident is probably number one, which is
Or
hard.
wait, like know that everyone else is feeling as shitty as you.
Yeah,
How
and
about
that should give you a little more confidence.
Yeah,
right.
like you don't have to be as confident, but know that no one else likes their hair.
Yeah. Find a good stylist and stick with them. Bite the bullet, even if it's an extra couple bucks or whatever it may
Yeah,
be.
you spend $35 on ramen,
Yeah.
homie.
Oh, you don't
Y'all
want
know
to.
you
You don't
do.
want to know what I spend on food. Yeah, it's okay. So and then communicate. Right. It's maybe not the easiest thing, and even I would say even if you don't know the best thing to necessarily say, just say it anyway because your stylist.
Be clear.
Yeah, be clear.
Yeah. If your stylist can't read what you want, maybe get your hair cut that one time, but find someone who reads into you. I really mean it like mentally you need to be comfortable where you're at because if you're not, your stylist isn't, and anxiety doesn't read good on either party. Like if you're scared giving a haircut and your client's scared getting one, nobody's leaving happy.
So I guess we've covered advice people can like. What are things like that you see? What's a common error someone has? And I kind of want to ask specifically about this because I've done this myself and I know I'm guilty of it. But when people come in with pictures, how hard is that as a stylist?
No, I like pictures.
You like pictures?
I do, but normally I would make you show me like 3 pictures because I'm not going to replicate anything. It's not going to happen.
Well, and it's
So
hard
you
when
wanna
someone
make
comes
sure-
in like with me and they're like, I want Joe Jonas's haircut. And you're like,
yeah,
dude.
or like Will Smith.
Right.
I've
yeah.
had that. I've had like
Yeah.
a white girl bring me Halle Berry. I'm like, cool, me too.
I want to be Janet Jackson
Yeah,
from
I'm
Poetic
embarrassed
Justice.
about being white
yeah.
also.
Yeah.
It's not my
I
fault.
would have loved to be Tupac as well.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So those things.
Be
I hate
realistic
to
in your
keep going
photos.
back to like that it's perception and personality and conversation, but sadly, like 80% of it is. It's
Yeah.
like that ain't gonna work.
Right.
But I think the other percent is to give your clients that aren't going to work on their hair the easiest to style hair for them is my job. Like if you got a colic in the back and it's gonna stick up, I'm gonna lay it down so that you don't have to think about it.
Perfect. Yeah.
So, but those things, you gotta just
Yeah, you got a extra large mole on the back of your neck. You got to work around.
work around it. It's hard.
Holler at your
sometimes.
girl
That's hard.
because
It's
she
hard.
needs to
It's
know.
hard.
She don't want to. She don't want to chop that off.
Don't want to, but
Yeah.
will.
Chop up. Yeah, I would
I don't
actually.
know.
I would actually probably pay. We can maybe talk out.
It's a bleeder.
Yeah, it would be a bleeder.
I've had a tiny one that's a bleeder.
We can cauterize it. Something tells me
Ian's
Ian's
an
cauterized.
electrician.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Something tells me Ian can help with the cauterizing. I don't know why. I've never even.
The baby.
Yeah, I've only hung out with him a few times, and most of it was very passing. But so this is the longest. But I was like, he's a cauterizer. He's a. Oh yeah, no, been very good.
Can do it.
I love the dude. Yeah, exactly. Perfect. My mole. Yeah.
I really think the biggest thing is
It's cauterizing.
is cauterizing.
Cauterizing your wounds. Yeah.
I got bit by a hamster once. We had to cauterize it.
Really? Oh, I did. I cauterized a finger wound in college because.
You did it?
Well, technically my roommate did it because I was too big of a pussy to do it. I had to look away. My parents were in between jobs, so we didn't have insurance, and it just had to be done.
That's some real shit.
What's up? What'd you use? My roommate got. He was an engineering student, so he got a soldering iron.
Cool. That's what I was thinking. The only thing that's gonna work is a soldering iron.
Yeah.
But what else would work? only that immediately, right?
Oh, hot plate. Oh.
Other,
Word out.
I'm like, okay, other hair stuff.
So other hair stuff. So okay.
Did I want to say anything?
Well, yeah, no, I was just so
No,
I actually
didn't.
have one other thing here that I've purchased and I'm not even sure what it is.
I think
so
it's a hairspray.
So it's like an anti-gravity. She's afraid to touch it. It's just been in a upper drawer for a long time. So it's supposed to give more volume and
See this thing right here? It says 12 months. That means it's expired. We don't know.
I'm putting it in my hair for the sake of the show.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Kevin Murphy's a great product, but Schwarzkopf.
Schwarzkopf. War by the Shore.
This is good. This is like a finishing thing. It's weightless. Tommy has really, okay, there's a lot of ways to describe hair. You could have fine hair and it could be dense, which means you have lots of little baby hairs all over. You could have thick hair and it could be fine, meaning it's like the hair strand is thick or coarse, but you don't have that many. Or you could have thick hair and have it be dense. So yours is rather thin and dense. It's thin, but there's a lot of them on the top.
Right.
It gets really thin near the bottom, which is kind of interesting. It makes it kind of hard to cut. It's also like really light. So when we go really short on Tommy's sides, it looks even shorter than it
Actually is.
because you can see his scalp.
For sure.
So it's frustrating.
Oh yeah. No, it's
Yeah, that's why you shouldn't use clippers.
Yeah, not an easy head to cut, and also
Well, it's an easy head to cut.
Yeah.
It's a great conversation.
And ideally, I think what they had explained is I would do this right out of the shower.
This one?
Yeah.
I don't think you were listening.
No. And then they said something about spraying it in. Well, and then like I would take it like this and kind of do one of these things.
Right. So that's what I was talking about earlier when we were talking about Sandoval. Like you have to.
Why would you ever do that?
You have to
I
do
wouldn't,
that,
but I'm
you
just
need-
wondering. I'm just what I would do
Wait,
it
wait.
if for you.
You need more
for
hair.
certain
It needs to be
occasions
like
if
this.
it looked really good.
Like wrapped around it, like around.
So I don't have enough hair to.
No.
Okay, perfect.
But
Okay.
you didn't tell me we were.
I did. I'm not currently doing that. I don't
You
know
would wanna,
even.
like this would be.
I
Sandoval.
wasn't even sure
This
if I
is
knew.
Sandoval.
Okay, Sandoval.
Sandoval's
Gotcha.
like,
Okay, word out. Yeah. So
but this is hairspray. This is.
it's supposed to make. I swear to
on
God.
the dry hair.
It's supposed to. Oh, on dry hair. Okay. I swear to God, they said it's supposed to make thin. Like.
Well, that's why we don't go to them anymore.
Yeah. No, we don't. This is stupid sports clips.
No, Kevin Murphy. Yeah, Kevin Murphy's a great line. You just want to use.
I don't even.
I mean, it looks.
I mean, it looked good before. I know you're. But I'm just
But
wondering.
see, like earlier, you kept doing like this.
Yeah.
thing.
Now your hair looks
Like.
bad.
Now it looks
you don't want to
sweet.
just okay. So your hair already wants to go to the side.
Uh-huh.
So a lot of times when your hair wants to go to the left or the right,
You fight it. Make it go the other way.
no, yeah, like the better way to
Do it is
to
the
do it
opposite
is
way.
to over direct it the other way so it lands because you don't want to look like you're like
Too flat.
combing this over and then this. Like I know the '90s are in, but we're too old for to lean into it that much. This is like a little AFI summer. Look at
Oh.
yeah, look at.
But you steal my sunshine.
Still my sunshine.
But see, if you keep pushing that hair over, the thing
Yeah, go
about
ahead.
it is that it's going to remember it. So you don't have to use a blow dryer.
Hair has a memory.
Oh, the most.
Okay.
Yeah, like well, we like if you wanted to grow bangs, you would have to like pin them forward for a while if you didn't have that part, or if you want to like switch your part, you could go to sleep and like pin it and wake up like that. So if you keep directing it every day to lay over there, it's going to lay over there. But if you keep directing it every day and you wake up and you kind of just like push it to the center and push it over here, it's going to live in this weird like middle space. And granted, you need a haircut. We need, like so it'll live like up. But you know, in the like, I don't give a fuck. I got 2 kids, but I'm here to kick fucking ass.
Yeah, give me a coffee with 4 shots in it.
Of what?
Yeah, of espresso.
Oh, I don't drink coffee.
No, okay. But
That was a
also
lot.
maybe alcohol. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about Bailey's.
No, well sometimes we'll do that.
But
You don't ever do that.
Well, like if it's like a
isn't it
special
milk?
occasion,
Is it milk?
it's like a cream.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't drink milk.
Yeah.
Smells like hair product, which smells great.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: if you want to look anyway, and you come in and ask me to do your hair, and you tell me you're not going to use hair product, I really don't give a fuck.
Oh no, it looks horrible. And
Yeah,
I've
you
had,
have to use something.
Yeah, and I've had a history of some pretty fantastic hairstyles that we've gone through that are cycling through your viewing pleasure as we speak right now. So
Is it a blonde one?
the blonde one will be in there, yeah, for sure. So yeah, we've got some real doozies in there. but no, like, and I think, that's a good note to end on. It's just kind of, you have to have confidence. You have to go in and you can kind of know what you want, find someone you like, be consistent, and just know that everyone hates themselves as much as you do.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. Like, ultimately, the best way to be a zaddy is to be...
It's just know that everyone is walking around with as much self-loathing as
Everybody's
you
the
have
same.
and you got in your heart.
It's true.
So-
Nobody likes their hair.
That's right. Sam, thank you for coming. Is there anything you would like to plug before we let you go tonight?
Yeah, duh.
Yeah, get it in there, girl.
You guys could follow me on Instagram, @hair by Sam Stahl. That'd be cool. Helps me out with work.
She actually is a great follow. I like all the different stories and the tutorials and the Schwarzkopf related material in there.
And we'll link in, I do a thing called Why Wednesday where I give you guys like education about just getting your hair styled and easy stuff that's at home care. So as soon as this goes up, I'll link that so you guys can have some everyday information on Wednesday.
Awesome. So thank you
Thank
so much
you.
for coming. Ian, thanks for coming. It's great. We're going to have you guys over again just for a Nod podcast night.
Yeah.
You guys are close, right?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
We'll buy a house on the street.
Yeah, buy a house on the street. That'd be even closer. We'll make this a regular thing.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for listening. Proud Cause, take us away.